Yo, what it do, what it do, what it do. Y'all now tuned in all that rah-rah with your Hebrew brother, Milo Judah. What's going on, brothers? So, man, the big fish, Errol Spence Jr. has landed in Australia for his fight that takes place on July 25th with Tim Tsyzu, the former champion at 154 pounds. And I expect it to be a showdown. It could be the fight of the year if those two go at it the way that analysts are expecting them to go at it. I kind of think Errol is going to go in there and box a little more rather than just going there for a war, even though he stated that if it's a war, let it be a war. I think he's been adding too much to his game. And you can see it with the videos that's been circulating with him, with running shields, him adding head movement to his game, which is one thing that I've always stated that with Derrick James, a lot of fighters, it seems like they don't really move their head like that. I mean, even if you watch Alicia Baumgartner right now, she is getting touched a lot. Yes, she's winning because Derrick James is great at adding power and having you sit down on your shots. But at the same time, he doesn't really focus on head movement. And a lot of times when Alicia throws her right hand, bro, her head be right there on the line. She fine though. Don't get that twisted. AB is, oof. But still, when it comes to EJ, I'm glad he's working with Ronnie Shields so he can work on small things in his game that can make him better. But still, with the fact that he's been off for 3 years, we gotta see, you still gonna get hit, bro. It don't matter how much you move your head. It don't matter how much you work on your defense. You still gonna get hit. And we have to see his punch resistance. How is he gonna respond to getting punched by Tim Tsyzu, seeing now that they are fighting at 160 pounds and not 154 or 158 pounds? Now, what I will say is, Errol staying at 147 for so long, you can start to see how his body was breaking down because of it. And even with the Terrence Crawford fight, the fact that he couldn't take a jab, and I'm not saying Terrence doesn't punch hard, but the fact that Errol, his knees was buckling and shit off of a jab shows you that he was extremely dehydrated. And, anybody would have beat him that night. Now, I'm not trying to take credit away from Terrence Crawford, because the way Terrence beat him was masterful. It was a beautiful exhibition of boxing, and you have to respect that. But at the same time, we do know that Errol wasn't there all the way, but that's not Terrence's fault. Errol still got in the ring that night, and he got his ass whooped. But, with him being at 160 pounds, he should be fully hydrated. He should be able to withstand Tim Tszyu's punches. And another thing, Bud said that Errol didn't punch hard. That's how we know he was dehydrated. Because, Errol may not be a one-punch knockout artist, but everybody says that he punches hard. I mean, even Jamel Charlo stated that Errol punches like a light heavyweight, if I remember correctly. So, for Bud to say that, that should tell you that he didn't have the real Errol Spence in the ring. And like I said, I'm not making excuses for Errol, but at the same time, the man was dehydrated. He was injured. And a lot of people mad at Errol for still getting in the ring and taking the money, because Derrick James said he could have pushed the fight back 3 months. Man, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You never know what can happen in 3 months. All right. I mean, granted, he's still alive. Bud is still alive. They haven't had anything happen to them since then, to my knowledge. But, I mean, bro, you don't know what tomorrow holds. Even the Bible tells you that. Don't brag about tomorrow, because you never know what the day may bring forth. So, I'm not mad at Errol for going in there to get his money. Shit, I didn't bet on him. So, I don't have any personal issues with him and losing any money or nothing like that. And that's the main issue. A lot of brothers are so fanned out. They put their money behind them. and then he disappointed them. So now they mad at him. I don't have that issue with him. I respect Errol as a person, and as a father, shit, I would have went and got that bread too. But you know, when it comes down to this interview with Fight Hub TV, my boy say he's here to take over. I do have my questions for him. I want to see exactly how this fight is going to go. I don't expect him to gas out, but, you know, I just got to see it to believe it. And it's crazy talking like that as an Errol Spence supporter because I know what he's capable of, but the last time I saw him in the ring, he got his ass whooped, and he hasn't been in the ring in 3 years since then. So, I mean, he's 3 years older now. He's 36, as opposed to when he fought Bud, he was 33. So, you know, the body, it doesn't get better as it gets older. It breaks down even more. But I guess, you know, in a positive light, we can say that him sitting down for 3 years, it has allowed him to rest his body. So we'll see, but we are going to do some real and real analysis on his interview with Fight Hub TV. Let's get it right quick. Errol said that shit 2 times. But I bet it was dope seeing the Aborigines getting off the plane. That's what the next 10 days should look like. Staying in the gym, going over your game plan, getting ready, stretching, making sure that, you know, you're leaving no stone unturned. And I believe Errol, skill for skill, is better than Tim Tsyzu. I believe his pedigree and his resume is better than Tim Tsyu's, but at the same time, Errol has not been in the ring for 3 years, and he has to prove all of this to himself. Right? As a supporter, I just want to see bro do his best and put on the best showcase that he can. Win, lose, or draw. Of course, you know, I'm pulling for him to win. But at the same time, you know, you just got to be honest with yourself. He hasn't fought in 3 years, and the last time he fought, he got whooped.
The reasoning behind the move to 160? It wasn't no reason. I was like, why fight at 150? Why fight at 158 when mine was just fight at the weight limit 160?
I agree with that, but I think that should have been in the initial negotiations. But I mean, even just looking at Errol, he's huge. So it makes sense that he's going to fight at 160.
Obviously, you'll see Tim Tsyzu at some point. What were your first words to him, mate? I don't have no words for him. None at all. And obviously, the experience to be in Australia and fight overseas, you've done that in the UK with Kell Brook. And how do you think this experience will be? Oh, the experience will be dope. I'm going to enjoy it a lot. It's going to be a dope event, and you know, something I've been used to. Even when I was in the amateurs, I fought overseas a lot, so it's not something that I'm unfamiliar with at all. So take it all in, enjoy the whole process, and you know, when I come out, hopefully everybody won't boo me and put on a great show. What'd you make it?
Well, they going to boo you, bro. You're going to get booed. But what I will say is Errol sounds like a man who has learned to enjoy the moment. Right? Like he's saying, he's going to enjoy the experience, enjoy the process. But just as a man, a lot of times we don't take time out to sit down while we're in the process and realize what's going on and how we're burgeoning from a young man to a grown man, and the beauty in that. Right? A lot of times we get caught up in the hamster wheel and we just running and running and running, and we never sit down. And by the time we do sit down, we are old. But sometimes, brothers, we have to find a way to take a break and get off the hamster wheel and chill out. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your woman. Enjoy your children. Enjoy your life. All right? And I mean, we're going to always have to work. That's in the book of Genesis chapter 3. All right? A man going to work. But at the same time, you do have to find a way to rest your body and rest your mind. Right? Try to find a way to rest your spirit and give yourself time to recover, because it is tough out here.
Tsyu's demeanor throughout the last couple of weeks and some of the things that you said.
I have really been paying attention to Tszyu, but his demeanor always been like that, so that's why I really just don't care for him.
Bro, voice always cracking.
You're on his backyard now.
I don't have no message for him. I'm the big fish. I'm gonna take over his backyard.
So yeah, man, he say he don't have no message for him. He the big fish. He coming to take over. Right, so we shall see, as Errol stated in the face-to-face with Tim Tsyzu. We shall see. I'm pulling for him. I do believe that he's gonna win, but at the same time, I have to see it. We gotta see it. So with that being said, brothers, that's pretty much it. Errol Spence is fighting July 25th. I just hope the brother pulls through. I hope his punch resistance is there, because he is going to need it, because Tim Tsyzu is definitely going to be aiming to punch him in his face. I mean, but we know how Errol get down. If he got to, he gonna pull deep. Even in the Terrence Crawford fight, even though he was getting beat down, you can see it. He was pulling deep. He was trying to sum up something. He never gave up. He was always fighting. Right, so Tim Tsyzu better be prepared as well. But with all that being said, brothers, yo,